Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well and staying safe. Welcome back to another energy check-in reading for late September, early October. It's starting to get chilly out, so it's starting to feel more like autumn, more like fall. And obviously, the best holiday is approaching. We have Samhain, approaching Halloween coming up, so that's awesome. My personal favorite holiday, I'm sure some of you can relate. Halloween decorations are out, it's very exciting. But this week, we're going to be doing things a little bit differently. We're going to be using a spread, which I know is very unusual for me. I don't usually use spreads besides the Celtic Cross, but we're going to be using the Chatelaine spread. This is from the Victorian Wisdom Oracle. I have my cheat sheet here. I don't have a great memory, and I've only worked with this a handful of times, but it's been very helpful for me in readings for myself. So we're going to do one here. But let's start with some channeled messages, just what came through briefly in meditation before turning the camera on. The word clear and guide kept coming through. So right now you could be working to see things clearly. You could be, again, being guided on your path. Maybe working with a spirit guide, or just there's somebody in your life who is guiding you, or you're being guided to see things much more clearly. Listening also came through, being able to, you know, listen to your intuition, listen to your surroundings. Maybe a song keeps coming on, you're listening closer to the lyrics, and a message is coming through very strongly for you. Listening to your higher self, whatever that means to you, the word listening. Maybe you are overstepping in friendships, relationships, you're not listening as much. Just take a step back and listen to what's happening around you, what other people are saying, what you truly feel about a situation, instead of just kind of pushing forward and not really listening to your heart, how you truly feel about a matter. Just something to digest, something to think about as you progress through your week, or just in general. Let's talk about decks this week. So we're going to be using the Super Lunaris Tarot. I love the gilding. Compassionate Souls, as we will look at love, as we usually do, relationships, things like that. And we're going to be pulling from the Witch's Familiar Oracle deck. This was a deck I kind of underestimated at first. I'm going to use the comparison. It's kind of like breakfast. Like, you might have bacon, turkey bacon, and like fruit as breakfast. Like, you're more excited about, or at least I usually am, about like turkey bacon, things that are salty over fruit. But it's quickly become a deck that it just packs a punch. Like, you underestimate it, and then you get a message, and it's like, oh. And it's more about things that are about to become a problem and kind of stopping them in their tracks, giving you the message like, okay, let's look at this way before this becomes, a bigger snowball of a problem. So I've been really guided to pull that out this week and for clients. So we will look at that as well at the end of the reading. So let's get into this. All right. Universe, guides, guardians, helpful ancestors, angels, spirits of the highest good. This is a general reading for the viewer, checking in on their energy. We're going to be using a Chatelaine spread. Chatelaine. I don't know how to pronounce that, so there's that. All right. What's going on for the viewer, please? Messages they need to hear the most right now in regards to this spread. All right. Last shuffle. Let's see what's going on. And we'll pull one card at a time just to keep things, progressing slowly so we don't get too stumbled on the spread. All right. First position is the foremost issue to you, the situation, whatever is going on. And we have the Queen of Cups. So again, the Queen of Cups is kind of the master of emotions. She can be very over emotional, or they, gender is very, whatever in tarot. I'll use they to refer to that energy. Can be over emotional, or can be kind of reserved with their emotions, not giving a lot. Maybe you are very emotionally invested in something right now, or not really kind of you don't really have mastery over how you feel or a true understanding of how you feel about a situation. Maybe you are dealing with an issue where you're overly emotionally invested or kind of under emotionally invested. I could have worded that better there. You could be dealing with a water sign or a water sign watching. Could, of course, be focusing on yourself here, your own emotional growth, your emotional happiness, your emotional maturity as well. Maybe there's a situation where you are, I don't want to say emotionally immature about a situation, but you're still kind of progressing, getting a better understanding, and really developing emotions about a situation. Could just be a very emotional time. Again, really listening to your emotions, really, seeing things clearly. Maybe you were feeling a certain way, but you weren't seeing the situation clearly, but now you are, and you're kind of, settling into your emotions now that you have the bigger picture, the bigger picture has come to the forefront. So you have a better understanding of what's going on, how you feel versus how you felt in the past. And really allowing yourself to evolve emotionally when it comes to certain issues, to certain situations, because some things in life we are kind of always going to feel the same about, but other feelings are going to evolve over time. And we don't always welcome change, especially when emotions are involved, because we get so angry or so upset. But when we let the floodgate open and just allow ourselves to feel, things progress much more smoothly. We're more open to change, or we're understanding of why we're so opposed to change, and just settling into how we feel truly about a situation. Because we deal with things and we're like, okay, I really hate this. But, or hate's a strong word, why do I hate this? Why do I feel so strongly about the situation when it's not really a big deal? Or it really is a big deal, but you're kind of like not really caring or not really emotionally invested. Just getting a true understanding. That seems to be, again, the kind of biggest issue you are dealing with right now, whether it's in life, relationships, whatever your situation is. It will be different for everybody. But emotions are a big deal right now. And as you see that the woman in the card, the person in the card is almost like kind of looking to the heavens, looking to the sky with the cup in hand, almost ready to receive something. Again, ready to be guided, ready to kind of receive something or give something. Maybe it's like a gift to the sky, to the heavens. There's also a cliff above, so it's like there's something bigger than us going on here. There's waves crashing. There's things on the precipice coming in, coming out, in different waves, different mediums, different, what's the word? It's like different strengths. Like the wave isn't always going to be overbearing. It's very calm. It's very peaceful, and things come and go. I don't know the word to like describe that discrepancy there, but you get what I'm saying. Things are coming and going. It's like having to receive or just again connect emotionally. And the sky is very cloudy. It's almost like golden hour, but there's like a peek through of the blue sky. There's something peeking through here. There is something on the horizon that isn't again necessarily like we're not seeing that quite yet, but it's still there. Very kind of Three of Wands energy. Almost a bit of expectations coming through here as well. Expectations being a very difficult subject because we do set high expectations and they aren't always met, and that leaves us feeling very emotionally defeated. But it feels like very receptive here or very giving. It's a very beautiful energy, but it can again come at a cost when we are giving too much or receiving too little. Again, that balance that is so important in all aspects of relationships and life. All right, let's look at the scissors position. This is going to be the most effective way to release unwanted influences, whatever those unwanted influences are for you. The Seven of Swords. Okay, so right away I got avoiding as the person in the card is kind of walking away from the two swords that are still standing. Like, okay, I'm gonna head out. You have fun with this. I'm gonna bounce. I'm gonna head out. So that could be your immediate. That could be the most effective way, of course, is to achieve victory, a concealed victory, to achieve conquest. Maybe in not the most not respectful, not malicious, but just like it's a strange energy of, not stepping on any toes, but also not, it's kind of like a more neutral energy, not good, not bad, very neutral, very gray. Life is a very gray area. But it feels like somebody here is kind of avoiding instead of directly addressing an issue or an influence. So instead of avoiding release, and kind of almost like distracting yourself or hiding things away, that can be very beneficial. But if we distract ourselves too much, we kind of forget the progress we have done, the work we have already done when it comes to a situation. So we can avoid to some extent, but we have to address things eventually instead of kind of sneaking away. This could also be you're unaware of exactly what this influence is. So you're still kind of assessing the situation, analyzing things, almost trusting yourself to release this. Trusting that you will make the right decision instead of overthinking, overanalyzing, or becoming a bit of an emotional whirlpool of, am I making the right choice? No, I'm not. Yes, I am. It's kind of very back and forth, but almost trusting yourself to do the right thing, to make the right choice, to invest your energy where it needs to be invested. Again, seeing things very clearly instead of that distorted, almost kind of cloaked energy of the Seven of Swords. Because again, there's very kind of looking back here, almost like avoiding, like you're in an awkward situation, like you're trying to avoid making eye contact, you're trying to like get out of there as soon as you can. It's weird, it's awkward. It's like, I need to get out of here. And sometimes that is the best thing to do, because we can, if we're in a situation where we don't agree with somebody or it's very awkward, we do tend to avoid. If it's a situation where a conversation is needed, to educate yourself or this person, of course, do so. But sometimes we have to kind of get out of a situation before we allow ourselves to react, become too reactionary, or just don't avoid releasing things and trust yourself to make the right choice when it comes to releasing unwanted energy. And being able to navigate what those influences are, who is influencing you in maybe not the best way, having to kind of decipher, see things clearly, and who to be receptive to, who not to be receptive to. Because it feels like right now there is a bit of a kind of a pondering, a bit of a mystery around, what is an unwanted influence, what is kind of good, what is bad, what is gray, what is neutral, and kind of seeing like, okay, what choice, very Two of Wands, like what road to take when it comes to certain avenues of energy, people, situations in your life. Let's look at the magnifying glass position, the hidden area, which are either buried or in need of confrontation. So these two could very much play into each other. The Three of Coins, interesting. Yeah, so there's definitely something here about relationships, other people possibly, dynamics, maybe with friends. It could be a work dynamic, energy putting in the work. Three of Coins to me can sometimes be, again, appreciation, having notoriety with your work. As we see here, the woman is almost like showing off this column she has built. And we have one gentleman here who's very interested in what she's saying, but somebody else is kind of like looking down at a book, or if we were looking at, realistically looking down at their phone, not paying much attention. So that could be an area here where there is a want for appreciation, a want for notoriety, but not getting it. Maybe wanting notoriety, but not putting in the fullest extent to your work. Maybe doing like the bare minimum, which I mean we're all kind of guilty of at times. Doing the bare minimum and hoping for more. Again, expectations playing a part here, it seems. But there seems to be a group dynamic here or situation that is needing confrontation. How you work on things, how you deal with things, how you manage things, how you invest your time without becoming stressed, overwhelmed, or just how you work on things. Very Two of Coins, but kind of boarding over into the Three of Coins. So it's not just like one thing you're struggling to manage, it's a lot of different things. And also tying into the receptivity of the Queen of Cups, how you feel about a situation. Because somebody could be taking note of you which kind of came out in the last reading, but you weren't really noticing it. So there could be something here about a group dynamic that you're kind of ignoring, neglecting, or not really trusting yourself to make a decision regarding this, so you have kind of avoided and pushed this away. So there's definitely here with Three of Coins something that is, you need to confront it head on, deal with it, get it out of the way. It could be a project you're putting off, a hobby, whatever that is, or like a work situation, a situation where you are with other people, or just investing your time and energy into. Maybe you're wanting appreciation, maybe you're not. Maybe you're doing it just because you love what you're doing. A good way to kind of assess that is, you're working on something. How would you feel if nobody ever saw it? Like if it's an art project, if it's a project, at work, if it's something in a relationship, how would you feel if nobody ever took note of it? Would you be mad, or would you feel just fine? And that can kind of help you manage your expectations, but also manage how much stress and energy you're putting into a situation where you may or may not kind of be on the receiving end of positive energy, negative energy, whatever kind of comes from this. I kind of want to clarify this because, again, it is something that's hidden that needs confronted, or kind of buried very deep. There could definitely be some issues around trust here, especially emotional trust. Alright, let's see the needle kit. So your healing strengths to the world is the Four of Coins. Immediately what I got is you kind of know when to give and when to hold back in situations. Four of Coins. First of all, I feel like you're very giving. You're very open, which is kind of opposite of usually how we see the Four of Coins, but this is like your healing strengths, like what you bring out in other people, what you give to the world, a very positive energy. It's you know when to give, you know when to hold back, which is beneficial in relationships, friendships, all situations. You know when to speak up, when to kind of like, okay, maybe I shouldn't tell my friend that they don't look great in the color red, or something, as small as that, or as big as, you know when to speak up, you know when to hold back, you know how to be real with people, but also not hurt them, which sometimes we often hurt people without really meaning to. It's everybody handles emotions differently, and sometimes we forget that. We get really in our head, and sometimes, I don't want to say we become selfish, but we do really feel like, okay, this is how we deal with emotions, and we treat other people thinking they handle emotions the same way, and that isn't really the case. Furthermore, people can really not react when we try to kind of force them to handle things our way, which can lead to awkward situations, again, we were talking about earlier here, or just maybe some trust issues possibly. But also, you're just very giving, maybe financial, maybe you give to a lot of charities, which is a very beautiful thing, especially in the time we are living in. It's also like there's a bit of a tight grip here. Is what he's kind of like holding this coin up to his like it's almost like you kind of you rest your head on your knuckles at times, but it feels like it feels like a tight grip here. So there could be somebody around you, or a situation that has a very tight hold on you, or you have a very tight hold on a situation, but you might not see that, or you might not be fully aware. So that could be what you are receiving and being guided to see clearly, is the situation that, like, oh, I didn't know that I was so enthralled by that. It was very buried deep in your subconscious, but it's kind of coming out here. It's becoming more open. Some of you could also be very withdrawn, being very reserved, and not really showing your healing strengths to the world. Maybe you are in a situation where there is, life advice, or, whether solicited or unsolicited. Sometimes people do need to hear things that can help them in some way. Big, small, whatever that might be. It could be as simple as like holding the door open for somebody, or just saying, I like your shirt, I like your dress, I like your hair, things like that. small, big, those gestures really can go a long way to make somebody's day. In my tarot, spiritual work, things like that, you could be very gifted, but you're not maybe allowing yourself to, you know, really receive, or those intuitive gifts, you know what I'm saying, or things like that. It's, open up, be receptive to those messages, to those hits, and just be giving of those strengths you possess that you might not be fully aware of. It's also an energy of just being able to kind of handle your own stability very well, being very smart in that way, like knowing when to hold back spending energy, or it could be spending other things as well. We're not looking at money here, but that could be the case. Like knowing when to reserve and when to give your energy, emotions to a situation. I feel like you're good at that in some departments, but there's obviously something here that is buried a bit deeper that you might still be very emotionally invested in, or wanting something from, that you're kind of avoiding maybe right now, but you know when to kind of spend and when to hold back in the situations, which definitely saves you a lot of emotions and energy. All right, let's look at the notepad. The lesson here is the Ten of Cups. Interesting. What makes you happy? Which is always a very important lesson. And I say it a lot on the channel I have. For the year I've been doing this. Also in personal readings is really asking yourself, what you want. What is your fulfillment? What is your happily ever after? Happily ever after differs from person to person. We all want different things. But it's also about kind of doing the inner work, that subconscious work, to reach a point where we are the Ten of Cups, where we are very emotionally stable inside, and being able to kind of not give that to other people, but just being able to have the Ten of Cups, everything we want, whether it be in the physical world, the emotional world, because we've done the inner work first, which is, again, easier said than done, takes more time than it's usually presented, but just the lesson is happiness, the lesson is love, the lesson is emotional fulfillment. So what is your fulfillment? What do you want? What is the Ten of Cups to you? Is the situation here going to give that to you? Are you giving... It's almost like there's two different piggy banks. Like we have a Yogi Bear piggy bank and a traditional piggy bank. Now I have both of those things, and so that's why I'm seeing those in my head. So it's like, one of these things is going to make you very happy. One of them is just what feels right, what you are maybe programmed, socialized to believe is the right choice. So you're investing in one more than the other, and one's going to make you happy, one is not. Maybe you have an awareness, inside of which one is your Ten of Cups. The other, you're kind of like, okay, well, this is just the more stable option. It's just the better choice for me to make in this moment, for my life in the long run. Those choices are important because obviously, money makes the world go round, things like that. But really just making choices towards your own happiness. What is that happiness to you? And learning who and what makes you happy and who and what just makes you feel good. There are different things that we indulge in that just make us feel good, and then there are people and things that just make us feel right. We feel it in our soul, we feel it in, every fiber of our being when we are with people that make us truly, truly happy, versus situations that just make us feel good, that make us feel okay. I like goldfish crackers, they make me feel good. But there are certain things that make me feel happy, talking about food. I haven't had breakfast yet, can you tell? So just, simple things like that, but also just, it's a simple, example comparison, but it's much bigger than crackers. You know what I mean? It's feeling good versus feeling right is very, very different. And the lesson is finding what feels right to you. What is your Ten of Cups? What is, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? Nothing is ever going to be perfect, but if things could be perfect, what is that kind of, without chasing perfection, what is that picture you want to paint for yourself? What are you trying to manifest? What feels right subconsciously? What feels right, and also managing expectations to achieve that happiness is also very important as well. But again, it's very about kind of spending your energy, spending energy, that's how I'm going to phrase that, to kind of achieve the Ten of Cups? Who do you see that Ten of Cups with? Who are you? And enabling boundaries as well. Because I feel like with the Seven of Swords here, just intuitively, it's like sometimes we allow people to sneak into our energy that we have kind of enabled boundaries with, but they come back in and they kind of could stir up feelings, good or bad, and we don't really address them because we're not really taking that serious. But there are certain things we have to take serious in regards to our energy, who we give it to, because there's such a flux and flow of people coming in and out of our lives. Some long term, some short term. And sometimes we give those short term people more energy than long term people in our lives. Like we can all relate that we've had that partner in our life, romantic interest, significant other that we gave more attention to than our best friend of, 10 years. And how does that make that friend feel? How would you feel if somebody put, it's just, again, a balancing act here, a give and take, connections, dynamics. It requires much more time than I'm giving it, but it's just something to think about. Also, what is your goal long-term, happiness-wise? Because sometimes we have these images of, okay, I want a husband, I want kids, I want a dog, I want a cat, I want a big house, I want a nice car, but that isn't always what we want. If you it's something you have to dig deeper with. Again, the sky, it's very beautiful in both of these images. It sounds like the pink carries over. That could just be a cups thing, but there's just a lot of elements of emotion kind of flowing in and out. There's a bit here as well with the Seven of Swords, like sneaking emotions, versus the very kind of dark, dim room of the Three of Pentacles. So it's like emotions are kind of coming and going throughout this, but there's a situation here that you're not really giving emotions to or fully aware of. It just feels very dark, very kind of gloomy. It's like a basement. It's like you kind of you put the summer decorations in the basement or something like that. It's kind of like sweeping things under the rug, but if you pick up the rug, the dirt is still there. You didn't really clean it up. Okay. Let's look at the key. I love keys. Keys are very important to my spiritual practice. All right. The wisdom that opens your secret door to new possibilities. The Knight of Pentacles. Interesting. So we know the Knight of Pentacles, slow and steady wins the race. To me, the Knight of Coins always reminds me to not procrastinate. I'm not really a procrastinator. I tend to kind of overdo myself with work and things and get everything done at once and just be completely drained. I need more than Knight of Coins energy where I take my time to do things, but not procrastinate, kind of finding that balance. So that could be the case for you is finding the balance, the balancing act here, taking your time to really think things through and make a decision. Taking action towards your idea of stability, your idea of long-term goals, practically, realistically, or just, I try to be a very realistic reader, very practical, very rooted here. But again, manifestations, what are you wanting? What is going to fulfill you emotionally? What do you know? Well, sometimes we don't really know how we're going to feel about a situation, 5-10 years. You could, but sometimes we really don't, because things, again, are so often shifting and changing. So really allowing yourself to progress and grow and make decisions as those things progress, as those emotions and those energies and the situations progress, and reacting accordingly. Because there's doors opening, but it's when you walk through the door, it's like walking slowly, asking questions, making choices that make you feel stable, that make you feel secure, making those decisions. You're not avoiding, you're not picking up unwanted energy without really realizing it. You're not making choices for other people, you're making those choices for yourself. You're taking action for yourself and for those goals you're trying to achieve. She was almost looking at this horse in a very kind of contemplative way, It's getting late. Should we continue riding? It's getting, is this the right choice? Is this the right decision? Am I doing the right thing? Am I being too in my head? Am I being, too practical? Am I, where are the expectations at here? It's again going back to expectations, giving, receiving. It feels like, again, like, am I making the right choice? I feel like it comes back to also trusting in yourself that you will make the right decision, that you will find that 10 of Cups goal, that kind of cycle of completion within yourself, that you can make the right choice. Making wrong decisions is part of the journey. It's part of the lesson. We have to screw up so that we can learn to do better. It's not, life isn't perfect. No one is ever going to be perfect. It's, never a cycle that we think is going to break, but chasing perfection, it doesn't do anything positive for us. We can strive to be better, but no one can ever be perfect. So that could be something somebody is struggling with here. But I think it really goes to trusting within yourself, making the right choices, again, giving, receiving, and just taking time. New doors are opening. You don't have to rush through that door. You can ask questions. You can progress slowly. Because when you finally reach that door, or when you finally reach the end of that yellow brick road, you kind of have an idea of what it is you've been trying to achieve, what it's all been for, almost. That's very interesting. Okay, I want to clarify. We have strength at the bottom of the deck, so really, again, inner strength, confidence, courage, being able to conquer it all. Almost like wrestling with the beast within at times. She looks more confident, more self-assured, more kind of aware of like what that energy is, but oftentimes in the strength card we see a bit of wrestling going on. Clarify this 3 of coins for me, please. Clarify this 3 of coins energy for me, please. 3 of coins, please. 3 of coins, please. The 5 of coins. Yeah, out in the cold, there's something here you're not paying attention to, that you're not really aware of. A bit of invisibility. Maybe you are, again, feeling invisible to someone, feeling unnoticed, feeling unappreciated, but you're not really dealing with those feelings, those emotions coming from that situation. Maybe you are out in the cold, maybe you are trying to achieve something, but you haven't kind of come in. You're kind of like either dwelling in that without really realizing, or again, expectations. It's like you've been left out in the cold one too many times. It's like, why bother? But that energy is keeping you stagnant. It's keeping you kind of holding back, very withdrawn. 4 of coins. Very untrusting of other people, of yourself even. Again, a bit of a time of change when it comes to stability, your idea of stability. We have the 3, 4, and 5 coins here. So it's a very energy of, I'm putting in work. I have this now. I don't have this now. And I feel like that's kind of the cycle that is needing to be broken. And being able to trust yourself to kind of break that cycle. Very interesting. I hope that resonated with whoever it was meant for. Again, different messages in there, so maybe only one position resonated with you, but hopefully you took something from that. Let's look at, we are at 33 minutes already. I just talked for 33 minutes. That felt like 10. Okay. I'm going to try to speed it up, but I'm going to take my time. All right. Talk about love for the viewer, please. Love, relationships, dynamics at this time. What message do they need to hear the most right now regarding love and all that beautiful energy? All right. Bottom of the deck, we have sacred time and space. Create uninterrupted time to recover with one another. Eliminating distractions will strengthen your bond. So again, there's a bit of distractions here, a bit of avoiding with the 7 of Swords, a bit of, again, a lack of focus, maybe a bit of a lack of direction, not really sure where you want to go. I also get like the word gallant. I haven't heard that word in quite some time, but okay. So creating that space for yourself to make those decisions, or in a relationship, creating that time to strengthen your bond, or even alone. Again, there's a choice you're making regarding the Ten of Cups, Knight of Coins, taking your time to do so, to make a steady and stable decision, to break a cycle even, to stop avoiding. It's all strengthening you, but you have to kind of create that time, create that space, create those possibilities for yourself, steadying your mind, not avoiding, not distracting, not getting in your head, not dipping into that Five of Cups energy, not feeling sorry for yourself, really working to break that cycle, really working to strengthen this bond, this energy here to achieve that Ten of Cups. Maybe you're in a relationship where there are a lot of ups and downs, but there isn't communication about those ups and downs. It's just kind of sitting through it, dealing with it. But you don't have to deal with this stagnation if you address it head on with your person, with yourself, whatever is going on here for you. No avoiding. Trust yourself to be able to make the right choice, to break the cycle. We have purpose. Okay, that could be this whole reading is finding your purpose. What is going to fill that cup up for you? That cup of love, that self-love, what's going to fulfill you ultimately. Purpose. Find your passion and purpose. Then walk the path with enthusiasm. Very kind of Page of Wands, very enthusiastic, very passionate energy. Finding your purpose. That is a very major, I just lost my train of thought. Major energy. Probably what I'm going to title the reading is finding your purpose, finding your passion, finding your fulfillment emotionally, walking your path. But as you're on that path, making those decisions, trusting yourself to find your purpose, find your passion, and again, that kind of flux and flow of investing and spending your energy, emotions, and being treated what you're worth, I think is very important. Because with the Ten of Cups, again, you want that Three of Coins appreciation, that respect, that sense of, okay, if I give to this person, if I give to this situation, this energy, I'm going to receive it equal or more. There's an equal give and take here. No one is left out in the cold. No one is left feeling shitty. No one is left feeling invisible. There is a give and a take here. There is an equality. You both have that cup of love for each other, and you're cheersing. We have trauma. Honor your need for recovery from what you have experienced. Help is out there if you reach out. Again, very important message. Nobody likes to ask for help. Shout out to my earth signs. I feel like we are, at least as a Capricorn, we don't like to ask for help. We like to handle things ourselves, but it's very important that we know help is there if we need it. If we are able to get it. I know there are certain situations that kind of prevent us, especially when it comes to mental health help. Help is out there if you need it, in many different shapes and forms. And just honor giving yourself time. Again, slow and steady wins the race, especially when it comes to, again, what feels right, how we feel, our own well-being. It's taking the time to recover. Not jumping into another crappy job after leaving a job, not jumping into another relationship after leaving one because we feel like we need that. It's taking our time. And just truly recovering. Sometimes we feel like, okay, I'm good to go. Let's head out. Let's put ourselves out there. Let's go find somebody. But we're not really ready when we feel we're ready. So it's again really important to take that time. Sometimes we have to hold back. We have to withdraw from kind of just rushing out their Knight of Swords energy. All right, let's close this off with some advice from the Witch's Familiar. All right. What message does the viewer need to hear the most right now? What message do they need to hear the most right now? Please and thank you. What message do they need to hear the most right now, please? What message do they need to hear the most right now, please and thank you. We have the bee. Save the bees first off. Hello. Community. Again, touching into, help is there. Ten of Cups can also be a sense of community. It doesn't have to be a relationship. It can be community, how we feel with each other, kind of creating that space, that environment for yourself where there is, again, everybody's pulling their weight, everybody's doing their job. There is community here. There is give and take. There is mutual respect. There is mutual love. There is, again, everybody's pulling their weight. Finding, again, community can be friends. It can be family. It doesn't have to be, a job or like an actual community of, living in a commune, things like that. It's the people we have around us, in our energy, in our space. Again, the kind of like the comings and goings. It feels very kind of soul family energy. Maybe there is some energy here with loved ones, and maybe not having the best relationships. So you're creating a soul family, a soul tribe. People around you who you feel that connection with. Blood sometimes isn't always thicker than water, and we have to kind of remember that, especially if there is very toxic trauma surrounding the family. I can't find the word I'm looking for, but generational curses, things like that. It just, let's read from the book actually, and then we'll close it off for today. All right. So let's look at the familiar's message first. Wow, you have been a busy bee, flying around to gather and pollinate all your ideas for projects and goals for your work and life's vision. Your devotion and dedication, pausing here, very reminiscent of the Knight of Coins. Dedication, devotion with the Queen of Coins here as well. To helping others is recognized. As you serve your community with new ideas, you share in life's sweet nectar and bear the fruits of your labor. Your forward thinking knows that there is no limit to your sweet success. Like me, you are a hard worker. I believe I can fly is your motto. Even though others try to clip your wings and ground you, so do you... Wait, hold on. Oh my gosh. So do your happy bee dance to all connected to show your unstoppable force of nature. Right action brings abundance and prosperity to all concerned as opportunities flower in your field of dreams. It's important not to do much all in one go. Pace yourself and take time to smell the roses as you enjoy your life's sweet moments and memories. Just be. So again, as learning to stop and smell the roses, it's again, you're doing the work. You're serving your community. You're putting in that dedication, devotion, and there's, your actions are bringing abundance, prosperity. There's flowering happening here. It's, again, pacing yourself, not overdoing it, stopping to smell the roses, and just kind of living in the moment, just be. So corny, but just be. Again, you're finding your purpose, you're finding your passion, and you're enthusiastic about that. There's many opportunities coming from that. Let's look at the foresight. Make time to be with your family and friends. Be part of a community helping others and the earth. Abundance is flowering into your life. Develop new ideas and projects and see them to completion. Take responsibility for your own actions. Talk to the bees. So there's that. I was hiking yesterday and a bee flew in the car when I was putting on a sunscreen, and that bee was all in my space, but we were having a conversation. We were just chit-chatting. Very nice bee. I love bees. Bees they serve a very important purpose, and I feel like, again, you are serving a very important purpose, not just to yourself, other people. There is energy around you. I feel like you are more important than you think you are. I think a lot of people feel that, there's so many people on this planet, there's so much going on, there's this kind of like, some people have like an over self-importance, some people have a very kind of like under, they feel very like they don't matter, but everybody matters, everybody's serving a purpose. We're all connected in some way, shape, or form, just like, the bees are so connected to us. Animals serve such a purpose in our ecosystem. And it's just very important and very beautiful when we kind of recognize that and are able to kind of see that, we do matter. We are important. And it's just something that we need to kind of keep in mind, because we can feel so little at times, especially other people making us feel little, but nobody is little. We all serve a purpose. Again, a focus on hard work here as well. wasn't really getting that as much aside from the Three of Coins, but hard work is here, and I feel like that is paying off. You're getting fulfillment here, prosperity, abundance. You found your purpose and you're working towards it, or you are just seeing the fruits of your labor come in. Dedication, devotion. This deck is just so great. I can't recommend it enough, whether for daily draws or anything else, but we also have goblins on the bottom of the deck. I do want to touch on this for just a moment because it did come out recently in a reading for myself. Some readings for myself I do keep. Boundaries are important. Don't let malice bloom from very kind of small situations. Don't let grudges form. Don't let malice form. Don't. It's not about overreacting is like such a harsh word, but don't allow yourself to react in like a heat of the moment type of way. Give yourself time to kind of process things, because there's often more to the story than our first reaction initially, than we really realize, is how I'll put that. But give yourself a break, give your friends a break. This could very well just be with somebody who's being a dick to you. And if that is the case, set up boundaries. Toxic people, no time for them. Life is hard as it is. Don't let people make it harder for you. Just again, take that time for yourself. All right, I think I'm gonna leave it here. I hope this reading resonated with you. Hopefully some of you stayed to the end here. But as always, you can book a personal reading with me. I was hoping to do some free readings in October. We'll see about that. I will keep you updated. I don't know if there will be a reading next week, but there should be the week after. Hopefully, knock on wood. So I will let you know. But for now, I will see you when I see you. I am sending you so much love and many blessings. Take care. Stay safe.